Donald Trump is the dumbest motherfucker to ever hold public office. Period. He's certainly the dumbest president we've ever had. I don't know if you remember, but a while back, Republicans in MAGA were bitching about $8 million that the government gave Politico when they were looking into all of the USAID shit. And they falsely came up with the notion that the federal government somehow just gave Politico $8 million for something, right? Turns out it was for subscriptions to Politico. This is from February 6th of this year. Trump makes misleading claims about government payments to Politico. Here's a fact check. President Trump on Thursday repeated an unfounded claim on Truth Social that billions of dollars had been stolen at USAID and other agencies and given to the fake news media to write favorable stories about Democrats. He said Politico had received $8 million. Trump's claims mischaracterizes the federal government's spending on subscriptions. Data from usaspending.gov, a government website that tracks federal spending, shows government agencies collectively spent more than $8 million combined in payments for Politico subscriptions and products in 2024. This includes $24,000 spent by the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, on subscriptions. The subscriptions, which include Politico Pro and E&E News by Politico, offer paywalled content, including policy tracking and exclusive reporting. Data show federal agencies also paid for subscriptions to other news outlets in 2024, including the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. On Wednesday, the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt announced that Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency was working to cancel all government subscriptions to Politico. Leavitt specifically criticized spending by USAID, the humanitarian aid agency that President Trump and Musk have targeted for funding cuts. I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who have a seat in the room. I can confirm the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening, Leavitt said. Data from usaspending.gov shows of the $8 million spent on payments for Politico products in 2024, the Department of Health and Human Services, Department of Interior, and Department of Energy each paid over $1 million in 2024. USAID paid $24,000 for Politico subscriptions in the 2024 fiscal year, up from the $20,000 in the previous year. In a letter to staff on Wednesday, Politico's editor-in-chief, John Harris, said Politico has never been a beneficiary of government programs or subsidies, not 1 cent ever in 18 years. Harris also wrote that the overwhelming majority of Politico Pro subscriptions come from the private sector. Additionally, congressional records show both Republicans and Democrats and the committees they lead paid for Politico subscriptions in the last year. The Office for Republican Representative Lauren Boebert, who accused Politico of grift on social media Wednesday, paid more than $7,000 to Politico LLC for publications and reference material, according to the House Statement of Disbursement for the first quarter of 2024. The same records show the Office of the Speaker of the House paid over $9,000, and the Republican-led House Committee on Energy and Finance paid over $58,000 to Politico LLC that quarter. CBS News did reach out to Representative Boebert and Speaker Johnson's office for comment. The New York Times also responded to what it called inaccurate information about federal funding of the paper Thursday, noting that various parts of the federal government have purchased subscriptions under both Democratic and Republican administrations, including the first Trump administration. The company said federal subscriptions make up less than 1/1000th of its revenue. But that doesn't stop our president from being a complete and utter dumbass on social media when he posted the following. Whatever happened to the $8 million given by our, quote, government to radical left Politico magazine, or whatever you would call it? Owned by wealthy guys, this money should be taken back by Doge ASAP. Also, is Stacey Abrams going to give back the $2 billion they funneled into her environmental fund just prior to my assuming office? She went from $100 in donations to $2 billion in just one day. Not bad. Get back the money. Well, Donnie, what happened to the $8 million is Politico pocketed it because the government, which is real, you don't have to put it in quotes, paid for subscriptions. You want to take money back for a product or service that the federal government already received. And I know that's how you did business in the private sector, sweet pea, but it's not how it works in the federal government. So you're not getting that money back, dumbass. Ever. Go fuck yourself.